Okay. I thought I kind of do. Well, first of all, I think this is the first time I've actually not been ashamed to wear the Scotland top because, obviously the Euros, I didn't actually see much of it. I did see, the England game in the final. I was actually supporting England, but yeah, Scotland did really poorly. They were probably, well, they were the worst team in the tournament, which is kind of a bit of a surprise. But anyway, I kind of wanted to do this video about just the kind of medication and things that I'm on, and the kind of hospital kind of issues that I've been experiencing, since Delhi, Srinagar, and also Leh. Back in January 2021, I was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia, B cell acute lymphoblastic leukemia, A.L.L for short, which is it's actually a kind of blood cancer that's it's actually more kind of common with children. Like I remember well when I was driving back in the ambulance after my stem cell transplant in Glasgow. The paramedic, his son had it at 4 years old. It's not an easy thing to kind of go through, but I kind of got through it for now. The kind of differences between, kind of children getting it and adults getting it are like as horrendous as it is for young children to get it. The kind of percentage of it not returning is a lot higher for children. I think it's about 97 or 98% that will never return. But for adults, particularly over 45, and I'm kind of 48, there's a high chance. It's like I've heard 80% it could return in 5 years, and certainly it's not something I really want to go through another stem cell transplant again. Because in January, when I was diagnosed, basically I was, transferred from Raigmore Hospital in Inverness to Aberdeen Hospital, where I was I had the fortune to, I had a expert specialist called Dr. Gordon, who is a real specialist in acute lymphoblastic leukemia. I think both B cell and T cell, it's kind of the differences in cells and things like that. Basically, I had kind of chemotherapy, just basically going from one chemotherapy to another chemotherapy. I actually stayed at, because I didn't really live in Aberdeen, I stayed at the wonderful Clan Cancer Care. This is like a kind of, it's like a sort of hotel or Premier Inn for cancer patients, not just kind of leukemia, all sorts of cancers. But of course, when I arrived, because it was quite kind of strange when I was diagnosed, because COVID was just sort of still there. And for the first little while, we had to isolate in our rooms. And, there was no social, there was a big social room and we weren't allowed to go there. There was even games machines like PlayStation and Xbox, which, we couldn't play. But yeah, basically I had kind of lots of different types of chemotherapy. And, for me, it was like no response. Each time it was no response. I had poor response. And it wasn't, I mean, like I was starting to really get worried But my specialist, Dr. Gordon, he was like, "Don't you worry, we'll get it down." And he was totally right. Basically, he put me on immunotherapy, a drug called blinatumomab. I think it's kind of short for Blincinto or something like that in the US. But I had this for 2 months, where basically I was like kind of connected up to like a sort of cannula in my arm, or was it a PICC line, or I can't remember, to be honest with you. But basically I had to carry around like this little man bag 24/7, and this battery pumped the blinatumomab immunotherapy into my body 24/7, throughout the night, throughout the day. And I had this for 2 months, and it then got the blood cancer below the value that it needed to be. Anyway, this is part one. I'll do part two.